Yo, what's up, guys, and welcome back to our Canucks GM mode. So, in last episode, we did the entire season simulation, and we have made the playoffs. And we are up against Thatcher Demko in the Arizona Coyotes in round number 1. So, an updated look at our lines and who's grown. Really, nobody's really grown except for Patrick's now in 88. So, maybe next year when we release Scheifele, we could put Patrick as our first line right winger instead. Corey Raffles up to an 84 now. Goudreau looks like he's dropping. He's now down to a 90, but it could be just because of morale. Nazarov's up to an 88. Mikulski's up to an 87. And Ty Smith's up to an 87. As well as Janus is an 82, I think, now. Yule Levy's up to a 92. And then goaltending, Gravel's up to an 89. So I guess we're on some good high morale right now. And yeah, so that is that. Let's just get into game 1 against the Arizona Coyotes. I'm kind of nervous about this series because we had the release Demko a couple of years ago, and he's the main reason we won 2 Stanley Cups. I'm hoping we are able to get to him at least in the series and go on to round 2 because he could come back to bite us. So first period, and it's 2-1 Arizona. So Sutter and Domi make it had 2 goals for the Arizona Coyotes, and Yule Levy had our goal in the first period. Route shooting them though 9-8 second period, and we get 3 more goals. So Demko just letting in a lot of goals. This time we'd like Demko to let in a lot of goals. So Goudreau makes it 2-2, and then Scheifele takes us to lead with 1:08 left, and then Scheifele again with another goal like 30 seconds later. And we have a 4-2 lead going into the third. Can we get an insurance marker? Just because it's still within grasping range for Arizona. Power play, we don't get it again. Last 10 minutes of the third now. And Arizona gets a goal. Brendan Perlini pulls them within 1. Come on, guys. We need to hold them off here. Hold them off. And we are just barely going to. So we squeak off with a 4-3 win on home ice. There's the player's stats. 3 stars of the game. Johnny Goudreau gets first star with 4 points, so he had 4 points on all 4 goals. Scheifele gets second star, 2 goals, and Yule Levy gets third star with 2 points. So a very good first game for Johnny Goudreau, and our team managed to at least come away with the win in game number 1. Hopefully that continues in game number 2. We're not going to change anything with the lines, not yet at least. So game number 2 is still here on home ice. Let's get it done, boys. First period, and it's 1-0. Mikhail Alblin beating Thatcher Demko. We're heavily outshooting though, 16-8. So Demko is keeping them in this game. Second period, and we have another goal. So Corey Raffle picking up his first NHL playoff goal. We're outshooting him 27-20, and we have a 2-0 lead. Going into the third period, we just need maybe 1 more goal and we should be good, but Domi makes it 2-1 and pulls Arizona within 1 again. So it seems like we're having bad third periods where we're letting in goals. Hopefully that we could hold them off again like we did last game. Last 5 minutes here of the third period. Let's get an insurance marker, boys. Get that empty netter. Yes, we do. Oh, and that wasn't an empty netter even. Henrik Samuelsson gets one, and then he gets an empty netter 16 seconds later to give us a 4-1 victory. So Henrik Samuelsson with 2 goals in that game. Alblin had 2 points in that game as well, looks like. So they might be like the first 2 stars. Yeah, so Gravel gets first star at 33 saves. Samuelsson second star 2 goals. And Alblin gets third star with 2 points. So our team seems to be playing good so far. So I'm still not going to change anything going into game number 3. This episode might be really quickly done just because that happens a lot when we sweep series, but whatever. Hopefully we could take at least 1 game in Arizona, headed back home. So first period here in Arizona, and Arizona's got the lead after 1 for the first time in the series. So Max Domi makes it 1-0. Shots are 8-4 in favor of us though. Second period, and it's still 1-0. And we're still out shooting him 18-12. So Thatcher Demko right now is trying to lock out his former team. Come on, boys. Let's have a good third period here and get the not the insurance marker, the tying goal. Penalty kill, and we kill it off. And then we tie it up. Nicely done. The captain, Bo Horvat, ties it up. Power play. Can we take the lead? No, we can't. Last 5 minutes here of the third period. Can we get a winning goal here in the last 2 minutes? No. Is it going to go to overtime? Yes, it is. So we are in overtime for the first time in this series in game number 3. Shots are 29-24. So if we win this, we go up 3-0 and have a huge stranglehold on Arizona. If we lose, though, we basically give Arizona the chance to tie it up in the next game. So overtime underway. Come on, boys. Power play. 5-on-3 power play, and there we go. Nazarov, once I saw it said 5-on-3, I'm like, no way, we're not going to score, because our power play is usually pretty good because we got a lot of offensive defensemen and a lot of offensive players. So Nazarov wins it in overtime. He scores a lot in overtime playoff games, like I think he did in a couple years ago, and he has given us a 3-0 stranglehold on the Arizona Coyotes. Thatcher Demko still gets first star, though. Alexis Gravel getting second star, and Max Domi the third star. So thank you, Gravel, for getting us that victory. And I'll still give you props, Demko, just because you give your team a chance to get back in the series. So once again, I'm still not going to change anything, even though this video's only been 6 minutes in. I'm not going to change anything with the lines because we've just been playing really good. Let's just win this game and end the series tonight, and hopefully we don't have to face a hard team next round. So first period, and it's 1-1. So Brendan Perlini makes it 1-0 Arizona, but Johnny Gaudreau answers right back. So Gaudreau's having a very good first series. Second period, and wow, we have a 5-2 lead. So I think we might have just guaranteed ourselves to sweep Arizona. So Corey Raffle makes it 2-1. Pastrani with his first playoff goal makes it 3-1. Horvat made it 4-1. Kincaid made it 4-2, but then Liljegren makes it 5-2. So Demko has been pulled from the net from Arizona, so we should have this in the bag. We're out shooting him heavily as well. They only just got over 10 shots, so Gravel's actually not playing that good. 3 goals on 12 shots, but we still have a 5-goal lead. Really, Vermette makes it 5-4. No way this happens. Come on, Gravel, you gotta play better than that here in the third. Last 2 minutes. Come on, boys, we need that insurance marker. And we're going to still hold them off just barely, as Gravel has a really bad game, but at least we managed to get the goals. So we have swept the Arizona Coyotes in round number 1, and we're flying into round number 2 on like a 4-game winning streak. So Perlini, Kraus, and Gaudreau are the 3 stars, all with 2 points. So we're on to round 2. That is good news. Our AHL affiliate, let's see if we can follow some of our AHL stuff. Hopefully our AHL goes on to round 2. They are tied 1-1 currently, going into game number 3. Can they take the series lead? Yes, they can. So our AHL team is 1 game away. And yes, they do. So our AHL affiliate as well gets on to the next round. And we're up against the Edmonton Oilers in round number 2. So we have played Edmonton multiple times in the playoffs before, and they were the only team that was above us in the division. So this is going to be an interesting matchup going into round 2. So let's take a look first at the player stats for round number 1, and then we'll upload a look at the playoff tree, and then we will take a look at the Edmonton Oilers lines going into round number 2. So Gaudreau leading the way with 7 points in 4 games, safely 5 points. Mikulski with 4 points in 4 games. Raffle 4 points in 4 games. Horvat 4 points. Alblin 3. Pretty much everybody getting some points except for like Nolan Patrick didn't have a single point actually. That's kind of bad. I don't know why he didn't have a point in those 4 games, but it was only 4 games. A nice sweep. So Zaka as well. Wyman and Ty Smith also didn't have points. And Gravel's goals against, how was it? 2.2, 4-0. 9-17. Okay. So now let's take an update look at the playoff tree, and then we'll get into what the Oilers lines look like. So in round number 1, the Jets defeated the Minnesota Wild in 6 games, and now they're up against Nashville, who defeated the Ducks in 7 games. So if we get to the Western Conference Finals, we might have to play against Troy Stetcher and the Winnipeg Jets, which would be kind of interesting. So we swept Arizona. Edmonton defeated LA, which had Kevin Fiala on it, in 6 games. And then in the East, you got the Islanders and the Flyers. The Islanders swept Columbus, and the Flyers took out Carolina in 5. Then you also got Buffalo and New Jersey in the second round. New Jersey defeated Florida in 5, and Buffalo defeated Detroit in 7. So now let's take a look at what the Edmonton Oilers lines look like. Pretty sure it's still similar to what they've been in the last few years. So obviously there's going to be like Connor McDavid, Jesse Pull-Harvey maybe, Maxime Susko, I think. There's probably a lot of players that are still there from last time we played them, because we do play them a lot. So yep, Susko, McDavid, Pull-Harvey still first line. Then you got Spike Wild, Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Ty Dellandrea. Third line, Joel Armia, Andre Bobrovsky, Bedrick Kayanik. And then fourth line, Simon Lefebvre, Dante Salaturo, and Vyacheslav Shirokov. So this team is pretty solid. They've got some really good players on their top 6, and then their bottom 6 is pretty solid. Nobody below an 80, so not too bad. Defensively, you got Pouliot and Larson, Reinhardt and Gogol. Gogol looks like he's going to be growing nicely, and he's an offensive defenseman. So that's nice. And then you got Manulin and Bears. So yeah, I think their team hasn't really changed at all since last time we played them. They also got Robert Johansson and Emmanuel Bourgeois, both medium elite goalies. So yeah, their team is pretty nice. And in scratch, you got a medium elite as well, Ernest McGrattan and Rod Haltschuk. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of our Canucks GM mode. I know it's only been like 12 minutes, but we managed to sweep on Arizona, and now we are on to round 2, and we have to face Connor McDavid and the Edmonton Oilers. So thank you guys for watching. See you guys next time.